All right, what's up? What's going on, everybody? And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of some of those aches and pains that you have in your back and in your hips. Okay, so what I'm going to do again in this video is show you how to get rid of some of the pain and lingering tension that you have in your back and in your hips. So what you're going to need is some very fancy tools: a towel. I like to use a beach towel because it's big, but completely not necessary. I would use like a regular bath towel. Don't use a hand towel because it's just not going to be enough. But I just fold it like this, and then this part I want to make as tight as possible. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll it really, really tight. Okay, just roll that really, really tight, and this should be enough. Roll it as tight as you can. You probably want to be on the floor or a hard surface so that you can actually melt into the tool. You could roll it like this, or you can make it thicker. Not going to matter as long as it's tight. Other tools that I like to use, if you have them, you can use them. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to use the towel, but I have this ball and this yoga mat. This yoga mat is like a cork yoga mat, so it's pretty dense. It's pretty hard. I do like to use something that's dense. So there's this, and then there's also this is like a hand therapy ball. This ball is small, but it has sand in it, so it's firm, but it's also soft. So you want something that's firm but also soft, which is why these two other tools. If you have these two tools, then you could definitely use them. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to use this towel. Okay, um, let's get it started. Not going to waste any of your time. Done with the intro. Let me just get my timer out because each thing that we do here, we're going to be holding for about 3 minutes. Okay, so let me get the clock out. Okay, so the first area that we are going to hit is going to be your rib cage on the side. Now, in order to find the specific spot to hit, okay, you basically follow your nipple line or your bra line, right? And you're just going to go out to the side there. So right here, I'm just going to go out to the side. I'm going to start with left side first, and then we'll get the other side as well. Okay, so we're here, and while we're doing this, I'm going to explain to you exactly what's happening so that you know the benefits of it. And again, if you feel like you can't really melt into it, right, if it's too soft, then grab another tool, or what you could do is take that same towel, fold it in half again, so this way it's a little more firm, and then you can kind of go this way. But again, you can use any tool that you want. I'm using a towel here. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to lay on my side, I'm going to find the nipple line, and then I'm going to go off to the side on the rib cage there. Okay, I'm here, and all I'm going to do, set myself up here, and then I'm going to hold my head up like this, so you're absolutely chilling. All right, I'm going to start the timer, 3 minutes. Now, what are we doing here, and what are we accomplishing here? Number one, when you're here, I want you to relax. Okay, just relax into the tool. Okay, you'll notice that maybe you might find a little tenderness or soreness, or you might not find much. We're really looking for a spot that feels tender. So what we can do here is move a little bit down, so that you could get further down on the rib cage, or move a little bit up towards the armpit. You can kind of choose that. And then another thing is you can move forward or you can move backwards. Okay? Either one will work here. All right? But you kind of find your area and then you just kind of melt into it. Okay? If you've never done this before, a towel is a great tool. But again, I use the other tools as well. Okay? All you have to do here is just make sure that you're breathing. So just regular breaths, just making sure that your exhale is slightly longer than your inhale. And what we're doing here is we're getting the fascia, we're getting the muscles, and we're getting the nervous system involved. The nervous system is the breathing part. The fascia is you literally just giving pressure down into the towel or tool that you're using. And this is helping just create some melting and create some some heat as well as hydration in the area. Whenever you have fascia and you start to press against it, just with sustained pressure, that area starts to remodel, right? So if you have tension, and most of us have tension in our rib cage, right? What we want to do here is just allow you to just melt into the tool, because this is going to help reorganize the fascia and the muscles and the nervous system connection in this area, especially if you have low back pain or hip pain. And we're working this part if you have low back pain, because the rib cage is directly connected to the spine. Also, if you have hip pain, this is a good area to work, because all of the fascia that's in your thorax, which is your rib cage, is going to connect to your hips, right? So this area is going to have a lot of influence on what exactly is going to happen here for you. Okay, and we're almost at 3 minutes. You may notice that you're able to sink a little bit more into here. Now, in 20 seconds, we're going to be done, but feel free, if this is really feels like you're getting a good release here, feel free to stay here. I've stayed here for as long as 10 or 20 minutes. You really notice that more and more of a change the longer you stay, but for the sake of the video, because follow along, I'm not going to have you stay here for 20 minutes, right? Or 10 minutes. But realize that if you really have a lot of stuff going on there, it's going to be wise for you to stay there. And you'll notice, kind of as you get deeper and deeper into the spot, you may notice further down the line, you melt in further. And in the beginning, you may not have felt much, but by the end, you're starting to feel areas kind of wake up and tension that you may not have felt before, because you're just melting into new levels. Okay, so that's that. We got the left side. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right side. Also noting that if you feel like that area was really tender and you may have another area, go ahead and move it down or move it up, and kind of work it out. There is no right or wrong there. We're just looking for the spots that may be a little bit jammed up, and we're looking to release those. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next side. And if you're looking for a frequency, how often to do this, I do some of this work every single day. I don't necessarily work the same spots every day, depending on how I'm feeling, but I definitely do this work every single day, right? And it's very, very simple. If you're watching a show, right? If you're just chilling, this is one of the easiest things that you could do, because you're already kind of in this position. You just have something else just propping you up, right? And again, you're here, you can prop your head up like this, or if you want a little bit more pressure, you can go here and you can kind of move side to side and see what works best for you. If you need a harder tool, again, go ahead and get a harder tool, something like this or this. All right, very, very simple to do, very effective. Some things you may notice when you're doing this after: just take a deep breath in. A lot of times this increases your lung capacity, just because all of these muscles that are around your rib cage are basically compressing your lungs and your spine in this area. So don't be surprised if it feels like you could take a deeper breath after this. This is exactly what we want. Okay. Again, we're looking for a spot that's kind of tender, so you're looking for that. Sidebar or continuation is, don't only do this stuff when something is wrong. I like to use it as preventative care, because nothing is wrong with me right now. I don't have any particular pain or tension, but I know that me being on the phone, me being on the computer, me driving, me being a human in this century, right? It's 2025 right now, right? We're doing a lot of things that are going to compress our rib cage. This is going to help open up that area. So don't just only go to this when there's nothing wrong. Like I said before, I do this every single day. Not these exact ones. I kind of go throughout my body in different forms, but literally just using a towel or a ball or a yoga block, you can really start to change your own pain levels just by laying around, right? So again, you can do more, and in this case, sometimes more is better, but for the sake of the video, I'm only going about 3 minutes here. But if you feel like you're getting a good release, if you're feeling like, hey, you know what, the other side is really opened up and I want to try to go further, go for it. I sometimes do 10 to 20 minutes again just on one area if I feel like I'm getting a good release. There's been times where I've done, we're not going to maybe go over it in this video, but I've done some foot stuff and toe stuff for 10 minutes just in one spot, and then shifted over a millimeter and then did another 10 minutes, right? So the fascia that's in your body surrounds the entire body. So everything is affecting everything else, right? So there we go. Nice and simple. Another 3 minutes. So now you can just take time to just check in with yourself here. You don't got to sit like I'm sitting. You could just sit however you sit. Just take a deep breath in. You might notice that your rib cage expands more, right? The next one we want to do, last rib cage one, is going to be right on the sternum, right? So the sternum is basically your breastbone right here, right? So we want to go here, and then we're just going to lay just flat on it, okay? So what that looks like is this. I'm here, laying down, and I'm just laying. Now, this is one where if this area is really, really tight for you, you may find, let me back up because I don't know if I'm in frame, but you may find that this pressure like this is too much. So what you can do is prop your elbows up just like this to take away some pressure, or you can bend one leg to take away some of the pressure. You can, again, pick how you want it done. The thing is that your breath is going to be your guideline, okay? So your breath is your guideline. What does that mean? That means that if you cannot breathe in any of these positions, then we want to back off from the pressure. Because if you cannot breathe while you're in any position like this, what's going to happen is your fascia, your muscles, your nervous system is going to tighten up and lock you out. That would be creating the opposite effect of what we want. So we want to be able to relax into this. So when you breathe, I like using a count of 4 for an inhale and a count of 6 for an exhale. That may be too much for people, but choose your own thing, basically saying that you want a longer exhale than an inhale. This is going to let your body know that the work that you're doing is not a threat. So you're here, just and just allow yourself to melt into it. If you're so inclined and you're really getting relaxed into it, I like to just make a triangle with my hand and then just drop my head down just like so. And then now I am literally just chilling, 2 seconds from taking a nap here, right? And you'll start to notice when you inhale in this position, the breath is going to be, it's going to be harder to take an inhale in. But this is necessary because we're working out different fascial adhesions. So don't be afraid to just breathe in to the pain. And then on that exhale, just relax into it. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Take the tension out of your body when you do this. And we got just a couple more seconds, then we're going to move on to the next area. And 1. There we go. Okay, so now, again, this is a good time to just check in with yourself. Just do a couple breaths here. Now you should really feel like after that you can take a really deep breath because this all can expand a lot. So the next one that we want to do is getting the stomach. Okay, so we're gonna get upper abs. So upper abs just like this, right? This is gonna go. If you find right where this breastbone ends, and then it starts to get soft, your abs. That's where this is where the towel's going to go here, right? You can kind of angle it this way or this way. I like to get right up in the rib cage because the stuff tends to get really stuck by the bone, right? So I like to kind of get right up in there. But now we're gonna just move the towel down a bit into the abs, upper abs to be specific, and you'll also get middle to lower abs too. But we're here. We're gonna go laying down. Again, this is a position that may be uncomfortable, but again, we're going for discomfort, not a huge amount of pain, because if you're in a huge amount of pain, your body's going to kick you out. Okay, so again, here you can totally keep the elbows bent here to take some pressure off, or again, you could bend one of the legs here and take even more pressure off, or you could just lay down just like this. There is no right or wrong here. It's just whatever is comfortable for you in this somewhat uncomfortable position. Okay, so we're just going to hang out here. Again, upper abs tend to get stuck, especially because they're right underneath the rib cage. We want to release upper abs because of the diaphragm. Okay, what do I mean by the diaphragm? The diaphragm sits right underneath the rib cage here, right? So what we want to do is give the diaphragm more room to move. As we take a deep breath in, the diaphragm expands. So if that diaphragm is not able to expand, you can't take a deep breath in. This also means that you're going to get a whole lot of fluid accumulation in your abdomen. You're going to get fluid accumulation in your rib cage, and you're going to have a whole lot of fluid accumulation just in your organs area in general. This fluid accumulation is never good, because when you have a lot of fluid accumulation, this means you have stagnation in the body, meaning that you have garbage that should not be in your body that's just accumulating, and the garbage only attracts more garbage. So what we want to do is do something like this so that we can help clear the garbage out, which the body's always trying to do, but sometimes it just needs some assistance based on how your body is set up. And again, because we're living in a 21st century, or maybe it's 22nd now, I don't know. I think it's still 21st. And we do everything in front of our body, and we tend to hunch over everything and collapse in the front, meaning that everything in the front is really tight. And this really tight sensation is going to lock down everything in the front and not allow fluids to properly move in and out. Okay, so we got just a couple more seconds here, and then we're going to move on to the hips. 2 and 1. There we go. Again, if you feel the need to stay here a little bit longer, you can definitely do that. Now, the first one that we're going to get in the hips is going to be right on the pelvis. Okay, so if you find your hip bone on either side, this towel is going to go right in the middle, right on the pubic symphysis, right? It's going to go right there. All we're going to do again is lay there. I have my towel facing this way, right? So I'm here, right on the pubic symphysis, and then I am relaxing right here, just melting into the tool. Now, again, the towel is a great place to start, but I know for me, for the sake of this video, I'm just doing the towel. But for me, I normally use a yoga block or this sandball. The sandball is actually my favorite tool because it's very dense, but it's also forgiving at the same time. And then the yoga block is very dense. It's not as forgiving, but the spaces and places where I can really just melt into it, the yoga block is good. But if you're using a yoga block, you want to make sure that it's one that's hard. Some of the yoga blocks are foam, which work, but after you do this work a lot, it's kind of like if you've ever used a foam roller before. Sometimes just a regular foam one isn't getting it done. Sometimes you need the one with the PVC pipe in it, right? So the whole goal in doing all of this is that we are affecting change all the way down to the bone. We have many layers of fascia, many layers of muscle, and in order to get to those layers, it takes time. And it also takes something that's dense. If something is too soft, you can create some change, especially if it's your first time, but after a while you're going to need a harder tool. So this is completely on your pain levels, what you can tolerate and breathe through easily. um, and it's based off of, what results are you looking to get. Again, we're looking to get change all the way down to the bone. So we want to make sure that the muscles, the fascia, are really hydrated and soft all the way to the bone. We don't want to be walking around with tension in our body, hence the reason why we're doing this. So we're getting rid of some of the tension in our body. Don't get this confused with removing all the tension from your body, because if you remove all the tension from your body, which is impossible, but if you remove all the tension from your body, you will not be able to move and walk, because you need tension to quite literally hold you up through gravity. But the reason why we're doing this kind of work is because certain tensions tend to twist your bones out of alignment. So when we're doing work like this, we're focusing on almost resetting your body, resetting the tension levels in your body. We are retensioning your body in certain areas, right? And this is really going to help with the aches and the pains that you're feeling on a daily basis, especially if you're feeling it in a chronic state. So we got a couple more seconds here, and then we're going to move on. Again, just like any other area, if you need to stay here longer, go ahead and stay here longer. This area tends to be pretty locked up and painful for some people that have digestive issues, but also moms, because you had a whole human being inside of your stomach, and you've created all this scar tissue and adhesions and even hypermobility in these areas. Hypermobility just means you're able to move around easily, or maybe too easily, but it doesn't mean that you don't have adhesions, right? Sometimes people that are hypermobile have the most adhesions that I've seen. There's been a couple people just because they can move around their different aches and pains. So don't be surprised if you're hypermobile. We're not talking about stretching anything here. We're talking about affecting change all the way down to the bone. Okay, so we're on to the next area. Okay, so we kind of just went over the pelvis here in the front. The next one, we're going to get the side of your leg. Here, there are many different ways to get the side of the leg. For this one specifically, we're gonna go IT band. This one tends to be like, whoa, it hurts. It hurts for a lot of people. Okay. Again, your breath is your guideline. Now I'm going to show you where to put the towel, but don't be afraid to explore. This is you. I'm giving a general video here, but you can move it and tweak it however you feel that you need to. Okay? So here, just like this, I'm going to put the towel in the middle of my IT band area. So your IT band is just a band of connective tissue that goes down this way, right? What we're going to do is just place that in the middle. We're looking again for a spot that is tender. If you don't feel a tender spot, you can move closer towards the knee, or you can move up towards the hip. Okay. In this one, I'm here, just like this. I like to put both knees, and you can bend both knees just like this, right? Now, a couple different ways to do this. You could hold yourself up this way, but this tends to cause a lot of tension on people. Also, and I haven't started the timer yet, so in case this one is so painful, just wait until I start the timer. Okay. This double knees is going to be challenging because you have a lot of your body weight on here, right? Double knees is challenging. So you could put one leg in front of the other. You could put this leg back here, right? And you could also lay all the way down. This takes off a lot of the pressure off of your, like, putting your whole body weight into the tool. So you could do this. You could take one leg off. You could stack it double. However you could stand it. Okay. I personally like to do this, and then just kind of chill out. Usually I use my little yoga block pillow here. And don't be afraid. I just didn't bring out any pillows or blankets, but don't be afraid to prop yourself up so that you could really be in a relaxed position. I am more or less chilling the whole time while I'm here. Okay? You want to make yourself as comfortable as possible so that you can still breathe in a regular cadence and so that you could affect change all the way down to the bone. Now, you'll notice that, like, once you go on this side, like, a lot of people just have a massive amount of tension here, especially if you have any back or hip anything. Is just a massive amount of tension here. So notice that if you have a lot of tension here, this is probably an area you might want to work daily. Now, again, you don't have to work the entire leg daily, right? But what you want to do is start somewhere, right? So you can be here and just kind of hold here. And if this tends to be too much, again, you could kind of do just like this. So I have some tension on here, but there's not a lot. For me, I've done this multiple times. And if you want even more pressure, you just make those legs straight. Oh, yeah. You make the legs straight, and that just brings it up to a whole nother level, right? So you can kind of choose where exactly the tension levels are for you and what you can withstand. Um, but yeah, you're just trying to make yourself as comfortable as possible while this does the work. Now, if it's really uncomfortable, you'll start to notice that your breath is speeding up. Try to slow it back down or back off the pressure. You don't want it to feel like nothing because you're essentially doing nothing, but you don't want it to be too painful because if you're gritting your teeth and you're stomaching through it, it's also going to tell your nervous system that this is a threat, and your nervous system will not allow change. When we're doing work like this, we are working with the fascia system, we're working with the muscular system, we're working with the nervous system, we're working with the lymph system, right? We're working with so many different systems, the blood, the circulation system, right? We're working with so many different systems in the body, and we want to make sure that the body is calm and relaxed so that work can actually stay. So we got about 10 seconds, and then the torture on this side is done. We'll have to get the other side. And again, if you feel like this is really, you know, getting you somewhere, then go ahead and get another spot in there, or just stay there. And then again, we're just gonna casually switch over to the other side. And this will be the last one we got in this series. There are so many other things that we could do, but just in this series, um, this is all we're going to go over. If you do have any questions on this stuff at all, you guys know that you could reach me on Instagram. You could also leave a comment down here. Maybe if you have a specific area that you wanted to kind of focus on, and I could make a video for you. This video here is inspired by one of my clients. Um, so I figure more other people need this too. So yeah, I'm making a general video, but if you do have a specific area that you want to work on, definitely let me know in the comments down below or hit me up on Instagram, and I will do my best in order to help you out with that. Now, see this side, this right side, oh yeah, it is painful. It's painful. And I'm just trying to hold it together. And it's not always like this every day. Some days this is easy to do. Sometimes it's the left side. but definitely this right side today. Like you see, I don't even have this leg fully on there, and I got the leg bent on the other side. I could straighten the bottom leg. This leg, no sir. This one is tight. There we go. Okay, I melted into it a little bit. Here we go. Double knees on there. We're about halfway through. Just breathe through it. I'm going through the same thing as you. And again, this type of work can be done daily. Also, you don't have to do all the spots every single day. You can do some spots if you have a couple minutes here and there. But honestly, if you are just chilling on the couch, if you are just watching TV, if you're scrolling on your phone, very easy to just go into one of these positions and just get some relief while you're doing essentially not much, right? I can't tell you how many phone calls I've been doing while releasing something in my body. I can't tell you how many times where I've been editing a video or just like scrolling on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or something like that, and I'm just doing this while my kids like jump on me. They're taking a nap now, so they're not in this one. But yeah, very very easy to do. Like now, I can definitely straighten this leg out. It's definitely calmed down a bit. I can give a lot more pressure now. But the 3 minutes is almost up. And now I'm a lot deeper into this, but yeah, now it's a lot. I feel a lot more pressure, but I definitely feel like I'm a lot deeper. But too bad it's over. All right. So that's all we got in this hip and low back series. Again, you can come to this, you can come back to this as many times as you need, but you also don't need to follow the whole video all the time. You can just take one bit in one part. If you notice like something's really tight, like I haven't actually done the IT band area in like a week or so, just because I've been focusing on my feet, but I basically forgot about that. So I know later on today, I'm going to come back and I'm going to go ahead and do that area yet again. Now, the only time where I would say, and if you haven't done this work before, is you may be a little bit sore, right? Like you had a workout or like if you got a massage. Completely normal. If you are extremely sore or really sore, you might want to just relax that area. So don't work that area the next day if you're really sore. If you don't feel that sore, you feel it feels all right, you can go ahead and work that area every single day. There have been some people, just in general, depending on their pain tolerance and their body in general, some people may be really sore. That is completely normal. Yet again, it's soreness like you worked out. So it may be sore for 2, 3, or even 4 days. It should dissipate after 4 days. It should dissipate after about 4 days. But if you're really sore, like, you gotta get rid of that. So maybe you might have to reduce the intensity so you're not sore for as long. But you gotta make sure that we're specifically looking for things in the body that are stiff and sore, so that we get some blood flow in there, so that we start to restructure that area. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to head off the video. But if you guys enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. And yeah, just let me know any questions you had in the comments down below. I'll answer every single question that you have. Follow me on Instagram, Phelps_winning. And yeah, all the links are down below if you need any extra help. Peace.